Meet Susan McLaren.
I started painting out of necessity. I had my job was as an RN in the healthcare field, and I was in management, and I became ill. I had a sudden hearing loss and had some other things that were going on at the same time, so I wasn't able to do my job. And I also my hobby was music, so I couldn't perform my musical hobbies as well, so I ended up looking for something to keep me occupied, and just by mistake ran into someone that was teaching watercolors, and I had not painted since high school. So I started talking to him about taking classes, and I had never painted in watercolors because I always thought they were too hard. So I started taking classes from him and just fell in love with doing watercolors. And that has just grown. That's been about 13 years now. And I started doing watercolors as well as some pen and inks, and it just sort of broadened out from there. I was doing acrylics and playing with different mediums, and found out that I had an affinity for it, and it was a creative outlet since I couldn't do my music anymore, so that's how I started.
Susan is one of the artists whose art serves as a backdrop for Sisterhood of the Second Act.
It used to be I couldn't even go to a music program and not cry because I couldn't, participate, but it has definitely provided an outlet for the creativity, as well as just giving you a purpose, to be able to be out there. So I've just been blessed that I can do the art, and I'm enjoying it. Part of the process for me is learning something new. I always like to learn something new, and that's part of what I like the most about the creative process, because there's so many things that you could just pick and choose from to learn a new process or a new technique, or even experimenting with different papers. There's just so many options that it always keeps me stimulated, because I'm not one of these that can just sit down and do one thing, and paint it over and over again. I have to be playing with stuff constantly to see what's out there. Oh, the most important thing for me is it's that things that people love, that I want them to look at it and either evoke some kind of emotional response in them, either a feeling of warm, fuzzy, or funny. I tend to do things that are sort of whimsical and fun, because that's what makes me happy, so I think it should make other people happy. But I think that's the biggest thing, is to have an emotional connection to pieces that you buy, and yet that you have to fall in love with it. And that's what buying art is about, is to have things that you can surround yourself with that you just love, and it makes you feel good.
You can buy Susan's art by going to newmoonnetwork.com/shop.